think they're trying the doors. I don't know why I'm telling you to shush.
Yeah. What was that?
You just don't know.
What?
I'm gonna leave.
On Halloween night, nomadic Kangoo ventured into Epping Forest, voted one of the most haunted forests in the UK, with reports of ghost sightings each year and a dark history connected to London's criminal underworld. His destination was Loughton Camp. The site once served as an old tribal army base where hundreds of soldiers supposedly died, possibly explaining the eerie reputation.
I don't know if I got that on camera, but a massive log just fell out of a tree. Pissing some ghosts off. You know what, like, I don't really believe in ghosts and stuff. But I know this forest is empty, and I've been staying in the other forest. But I've drove down to this Epping Forest, and I really feel a tension of like, I don't know, you like you're being watched. That sounds weird, and it sounds like you're saying stuff. I know all these people say that sort of stuff for YouTube, but there is a weird tenseness about this forest. There's a lot of noises going on, and there's a lot of like wood breaking. I don't know, as I've been filming, I've just felt like there's someone like watching behind me. Or I feel like I'm being watched, being filmed, which I hate. You know, I hate that. That's why I like to do my film videos in the forest. But here, I've just felt like I've been watched the whole time. It is pretty eerie. It has creeped me out a little bit, to be fair.
The forest had an undeniably eerie quality that genuinely unsettled him. As the sun rapidly dropped below the tree line, darkness consumed the forest. He had a small head torch to navigate, but visibility remained severely limited. The beam of his torch cut through the blackness as he tried to find his way back, but disorientation set in quickly.
Oh, mate. I've got a bloody torch in my eye. I can't see where I'm going. I can't remember where I went. I don't know where I parked the van. I mean, the forest normally looks all the same anyway, but at night time it all just looks the same. See the road. I found the road.
After struggling through the darkness, he finally spotted the road and made it back to his vehicle. Checking Google Maps, he found a small church, not far from his location, and decided to spend the night there. When he arrived, he discovered a graveyard directly opposite his parking spot. The pitch-black conditions made filming impossible. He attempted to reposition his van to use the headlights for better visibility, but it was no use. The darkness was simply too complete. He would have to wait until morning to properly explore the location. When morning finally arrived, he discovered he'd actually parked in a beautiful location, with an active church literally in the middle of Epping Forest, surrounded by graves and ancient trees.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to stay here for. I think it's still an active church, so I don't know if anyone's going to be around this Monday morning, but I don't want to get a caretaker knocking on my van, so I might skedaddle soon.
Ooh.
Oh, well, it looks like someone's home, so maybe I won't hang around for too long.
The night at the church had included several unsettling noises. He'd seen deer in the area, so the sounds of twigs snapping and movement through the forest could have been wildlife running around in the darkness. But those sounds were nothing compared to what he experienced at Loughton Camp earlier in the day. He wasn't claiming the place was haunted, but the atmosphere there had been far more eerie. That overwhelming feeling of being watched, of being followed by unseen eyes, had been impossible to shake. In the summer of 2023, Indivana Jones was driving his micro camper van to Great Yarmouth to visit his son when every camper's worst nightmare became his reality.
I'm literally the only one in a misty lay-by just here, except for that lorry down there. He's just pulled up, and it's time for a cuppa. You know what? I'm that sort of, after last night's event. I don't even want to make a coffee. I just haven't got the energy to make a coffee. I'm going to have a van life workout and then go to McDonald's to buy a coffee. That's the van life logic behind everything. Van life workout, you know, one of these with the extender cord? Basically just one of them. Wrap it around a tree, do some things and bobs like this. If you woke up at night in your camper van and you were cold, you've not got a diesel heater, this is the quickest way to warm yourself up. 200 star jumps. I look like a Teletubby when I'm star jumping. Told ya. I'm going to jog up and down this lay-by, try and get a couple of thousand steps in before I start. But check this out, I look like a T-Rex when I'm jogging. That's better, I'm a bit more alive now. You want to see the best thing in van life? The best thing I've ever got from a self-converted camper van? These little dehumidifier things. They've got little balls in there, they soak up all the moisture. Since I've had them, I've never had like a condensated window or anything. I used to get it all over the back doors of the van. I don't anymore. Strange how things happen like that. But the downside to a micro camper van, it gets very messy very quick. We're just sorting out all the camera stuff in our underbed storage thing. Charged up some drone batteries last night, put the drone back in there, get that shut. Bye-bye spot that saved me. I mean, it is quite nice, but check that out. There's the main dual carriageway. I'll have to remember this spot for next time.
Behind the glitz and glamour of Great Yarmouth's seafront lies a very different place. The typical rundown seaside resort is essentially one giant council estate, and it's not exactly known for being the safest location. But with all local campsites fully booked, he had no choice but to stealth camp. When he finally arrived at his first spot, it was full of car enthusiasts and their groups hanging around. He moved on to the second location, but roadwork signs appeared everywhere, directing traffic to follow the diversion and not their sat-nav. His second choice was inaccessible due to road closures. That left only the third option, the one he really didn't want to use, but at least he knew it would be available. He set up inside his van, a small space with a full double bed and some storage shelves.
Because I don't want people to see outside. Full double bed that I'm sat on here. There's the back doors. I've got my shelf there. I've got my drone on charge, so that's why that's there. And I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
I think they're trying the doors. I don't know why I'm telling you to shush. Try locking it again and... Oh. I think that's worse. I can hear the van going, yeah.
Right, I think they're gone. Let's go and have a look, shall we? There's all that. I've just got the head torch on. Still a power. Yeah, look, see? Look, see? Nobody is around. Close that up. Right. I want to get back into bed. I don't want anybody to know I'm here.
That was scary. That was a bit spooky. It's the first time that's ever happened to me. Someone actually tried to steal fuel out the van while I was inside it. Right, but I'm all locked up. I'm not moving. I struggle trying to find a spot. I'm not moving just yet now. I'm going to see if I can get back to sleep. I'm dead shaky. I think they're back.
Right, that's it. I'm moving spots. Lesson learnt. I ain't parking there again. It's a Friday night. I've had some time to think. It took me about half an hour to find another spot. And I've basically just come up the A47 and found a lay-by. And I've dumped it in that. I'm by a road, but I don't care. It's getting on now. I might try for a couple of hours sleep before I actually have to wake up. But it's a Friday night. At least we know fuel thefts and van break-ins. This does look like a van. Doesn't look like a camper van. That's possibly where I made the mistake. Lesson learned. My next camper van
is actually going to look like a camper van. I might just chop a window into the side of this just to make it look like a camper van. But I'm going to attempt to sleep. Worst case scenario, I've got a walking pole down there. I can do absolutely nothing with it.
Looking back on the experience later, he still couldn't figure out exactly what happened that night. During the first incident, was someone trying to steal fuel from his van? But the second time they came back, even after hearing movement inside, it seemed like something else entirely. Could someone have been trying to move him off the spot? It was Friday night in a seaside town, after all. The possibilities were disturbing to consider. One thing was certain, he wouldn't be parking in that spot again, and his next camper van would look exactly like what it was. No more stealth camping in a vehicle that could be mistaken for an easy target. In October, Gina from her Alaska Van Life channel was heading to camp at an abandoned igloo hotel when she discovered something that would force her to make a terrifying last-minute decision. The igloo hotel had been sitting vacant since the 1970s after its owner's dream of creating a hotel near Denali National Park fell through due to building code violations. The structure had become a roadside attraction, but it came with a dark history. The original owner had been severely mauled by a grizzly bear just half a mile from the property, suffering horrific head injuries. Even more unsettling, grizzly bears had been spotted inside the abandoned hotel itself, making any exploration extremely dangerous. When Gina arrived at the location, her plans immediately fell apart. The entire area had been blocked off with no way to access the property. She spotted a mysterious tractor trailer that had somehow gotten inside, but the entrance was now completely barricaded. With her original plans ruined and daylight burning, Gina made a spontaneous decision that she would soon regret. She decided to stealth camp at a Russian Orthodox cemetery in Anchorage, but Gina had no idea what she was getting herself into.
So this is a Russian Orthodox cemetery. I've never been to one of these before, but they have the coolest, I shouldn't be saying cool, I'm like surrounded by a bunch of dead people right now, and I'm saying their little tombstones are cool. Oh God. You guys, I'm not making this up right now, but there's a light in front of the church, and when you walk past the light, it turns on. I know, because I walked over there 2 times to look at the cemetery, and now I'm in my car, and it's flicked on 2 times. It's not windy outside. It could be an animal, I guess. I did hear something in the bushes as well when I was looking at one of the tombstones. I don't know if that's what you call them, because they're not stones, but you know what I mean. There's no way I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight here. I'm gonna try though. I do not like how that light keeps turning on and off. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's a light that lights up the front of the church. And there it goes. It's turned on twice since I've come back. What do you think it is, guys? Do you think it's animals or wind, or do you think it's ghosts or spirits? Because this cemetery is haunted, and it's known. Oh my God, it just came. guys, I am actually getting kind of scared. I don't ever get scared of stuff like this, but what the heck? You guys. Right as I started talking about spirits, the light turned on again. I need a glass of wine. Oh my gosh. I decided to Google what the name of those colorful boxes are. They're not tombstones, and they actually call them spirit houses. How cool is that? But how not cool is it, right when I was Googling about the spirit houses, the light in front of the church turned on again. Are the spirits trying to say something, you guys? Seriously. Should I leave or stay? I mean, I feel safe in my Forerunner. I think. I do not want to see that light turning on and off all night, though. I'm gonna go crazy. Lordy. I was just reading a little bit more about the spirit boxes, and they symbolize shelter for the departed soul in the afterlife. Right as I read that sentence, of course, that light turned on again. Of course, it could mean nothing, but it could mean something. You guys let me know. What do you think? Okay, I really haven't researched much about this cemetery until right now. Obviously, our plans from earlier got a little messed up. I was going to be camping at the igloo. So this was a quick last minute change of plans. Well, I just learned that this cemetery is one of Alaska's most notorious locations for paranormal activity. I cannot make this up. I did not know that until right now. Oh my god. I feel like I have to stay because I committed to it, but your girl is scared. I do not like that light coming on and off. It's not even windy outside. I do not want to be around paranormal activity. Okay? Well, I guess I shouldn't. Oh my god, it won't stop turning on and off. I do not like this, you guys. Oh my, like, this freaking light, it will not stop. What the heck? I guess I'm just gonna pull an all-nighter or something, so I can't sleep. Every tiny little noise is freaking me out at this point. And that damn light will not stop going on and off. I'm gonna have to just ignore everything and try to lay down and fall asleep. Oh, jeez Louise. Why do I do this to myself? It's only one night, Gina. One night. That's it. Do you guys remember earlier when I said something about getting terrorized and stalked by the spirits? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Dumb, Gina. Very dumb. Okay, guys, I am actually gonna try to sleep. I'm doing something weird tonight. I'm not putting my blackout window covers up, which might seem strange, but just in case I have to jump in the front seat in the middle of the night and bounce, I don't want to have to take all the window coverings off before I leave, because I actually am a little bit scared, which I'm surprised of. Kind of thought I was just gonna pull up into this cemetery and walk around and then go to sleep, but that's not exactly what has happened. Definitely feeling a presence around me. Not really pleasant, unfortunately. But yeah, it's kind of weird that I'm gonna sleep with all my windows just clear and open, but I feel like that's the best choice for tonight. But wish me luck.
The next morning, Gina emerged from the cemetery just after 7 a.m. She admitted she hadn't slept terribly, though it was better than expected, but the relief in her voice was unmistakable as she drove away from the location. Some viewers suggested the light was simply malfunctioning or triggered by animals. Others pointed to the timing of the flickering, especially when it activated as Gina was reading about spirit houses and departed souls. And that presence she felt, she never quite explained what made it feel so unpleasant, leaving viewers to wonder what else might have happened during that long night in the cemetery that she chose not to share on camera. When a solo van traveler from Project Amber stopped in a remote French forest to fix his malfunctioning fridge, miles from the nearest town, he had no idea his repair job would be interrupted by something he still can't explain. The day started normally enough with typical van problems. His fridge had stopped working for the third time, turning all his food warm instead of keeping it cold. He drove to a quiet spot in the French mountains to work on the repair. The location was isolated, surrounded by dense forest, with no other vehicles or people in sight. He found a small clearing with a track leading down to an old stone well. After flipping the fridge upside down and waiting for the gurgling sounds to stop, he reconnected everything. The repair would take 24 hours to properly settle, so he had time to kill in this remote location. That's when things took a disturbing turn.
Always making some weird noises. It didn't say how long to leave it. Just until the gargling stops. I don't really want to put my head near it. Maybe that's it. Oh. There's rock. It's still warm in there. Why are you warm? Right. Now I'm sure with house fridges you're supposed to... Right, so I'm pretty sure with a house fridge, if you move it, you're supposed to leave it like 12 or 24 hours to settle, for the gas to settle. Now I've just flipped it upside down and back again, so I'm going to give it the full 24 hours, I think, to... What are you looking at? You keep freaking me out, dog. There's no one over there. Are you seeing something I'm not? There's actually a well. Just where I'm parked, you go down this little track and there's a well with a big metal bar on it. And originally I was going to go and park there, and I saw the well, instantly started thinking about the ring, which when I was about, I think it was about 10 when it came out, scared the shit out of me. For like a month I didn't sleep properly. So yeah, I'm not staying there. Okay, I'm seriously freaked out now. A minute ago I could hear like really loud moaning, like just booming across the mountains. So I've come down to where I could hear it. I got to this old well and it stopped. I mean, that thing's wild freaky. It's like something out of the Ring. But just as soon as I got here, just from over there's no track or anything, it's just wood. This girl appeared, dressed like kind of like a monk, no shoes, and no hair. So I said bonjour and that, and she responded. I asked if she was okay, but she didn't respond then, she just carried on walking. So I carried on a bit and thought I better double check. Went to go and find her again. She's gone. So up that way, that's where my van is, and that goes to the road. down where she went that way, there's nothing, and there's nothing for miles. Where did she go? I'm gonna leave.
To this day, he has no explanation for what happened. The woman in monk's robes who appeared and disappeared impossibly. Her final appearance, running through the forest as if pursuing something. The fridge repair worked perfectly. After 24 hours it was cold again, just as the internet had promised. But the cost of that successful repair was an experience that still haunts him. He never returned to that part of the French mountains, and he never found out who or what that woman was. In the summer of 2023, Tommy and Rachel were camping in a remote wildlife management area when their cameras captured something that would leave them questioning what lurks in the wilderness after dark. This wasn't their first time at this particular campsite. In fact, they had experienced enough weirdness here that they kept returning, determined to understand what was happening in these woods. But nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to encounter.
I hear mosquitoes though.
Yeah. What was that?
You just got up.
What was that?
I hear trees.
That is straight up coming from over this way. Yeah, we need a spotlight. That's essentially the area that it was coming from the last time.
Yeah.
We're not leaving this time. We're not leaving.
Maybe it's just critters walking around. I don't know.
I don't know. But after what we heard a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
No.
Nope. Here, move.
Excuse me. I'm not playing with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I keep on hearing something out there. Seriously.
Well, that howling is obviously something.
Yeah.
So I've been sitting here editing. Usually edit with my headphones in. This time I wasn't real involved in it, and I didn't have them in. And I swore for all the world, sounded like a little girl's voice coming from back over this way. You saw the drone footage. There's nothing back that way. Absolutely nothing. So I don't know. You know, honestly, I don't know now if we're starting to freak ourselves out at this place. I don't know. But, you know, we've heard coyotes howling. I don't care. Coyotes are fine. But between the roars we heard a while ago, I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave again. But hearing a little girl's voice out here is highly disconcerting. Highly disconcerting. I don't know. And Rachel's laying down back there. Better, it doesn't seem to be paying attention to anything. You okay, honey? You sure? Yeah. Yeah. She just, I don't think they can hear you on here. Yeah, she asked me if I, a little girl's voice, and like, I did. Yeah, it's weird. Very weird.
The couple never discovered what was making those sounds that night. The mystery of what lurks in that wildlife management area remains unsolved. But one thing is certain, the experience left them deeply shaken, questioning everything they thought they knew about those woods. And somewhere in that darkness, something continues to make sounds that don't belong.